All right, today we're diving deep into a world where your very own bloodline makes you a target. This is our explainer for Chaotic Heroes, The Prince and the Game, a story all about power, betrayal, and one prince who's caught right in the middle of it all.
So just imagine this for a second. You are the one and only key to a massive empire, the last living connection to a dynasty that's already fallen. But instead of giving you power, that legacy just paints a giant target on your back. Suddenly, you're not a person, you're a pawn for everybody else's ambition.
Well, that is the exact spot our protagonist, Li Xing Yun, finds himself in. He's known as the dragon species, the last surviving heir of the great Li Tang dynasty. He's not just some guy, he's a symbol, a living, breathing claim to the throne. And yeah, the ultimate prize in a seriously brutal war for control.
So let's take a closer look at this so-called priceless dragon prince and figure out why on earth everyone is willing to go to war over this one guy.
See, up until this point, Li Xing Yun was basically living as a street rat, totally clueless about his royal family. But now, the secret's out. His identity has been exposed to the entire world. And just like that, overnight, he goes from being a total nobody to what the sources call a rare commodity, which really just means he's the most valuable and probably the most endangered person alive.
And if you want to understand just how valuable he is, get this. The Holy Lord of Tong Wen Guan, one of the most powerful dudes around, tells his best warrior that they can't just go grab Li Xing Yun. No, he says we have to say please. He's the dragon species and priceless. I mean, when a guy like that has to ask nicely, you know the stakes are absolutely through the roof.
So if Li Xing Yun is the ultimate prize, then who are the players trying to win him? Let's meet the three great powers who are treating him like the king on a chessboard, all of them making a play for the throne.
First up, you've got Tong Wen Guan, led by the Holy Lord Li Xuan. Now on paper, their goal sounds pretty noble, right? Restore the Da Tong Empire, put the rightful heir back where he belongs. But their secret motive? Oh, it's to use Li Xing Yun as a puppet emperor so they can grab all the power for themselves. It's a classic move. Hide your own greed behind a show of loyalty.
And they're not the only ones. Next is the Magic Square, led by the mysterious Qi Wang. Their public goal sounds almost exactly the same. Support the true heir. But, you guessed it, the real reason is pure self-interest. They want to put Li Xing Yun on the throne to establish their own regime and enjoy glory. It's basically two sides of the very same ambitious coin. And then you've got our main antagonists, Xuan Ming Jiao, led by Ming Di. These guys are way more direct. Their stated goal is simple, seize Li Xing Yun. And their secret motive? To eliminate the last heir completely, to make sure their own master's power is secure. They're not playing political games, they're playing for keeps, and that means taking the prince off the board for good.
But here's where it gets really interesting. While these huge factions are playing their big strategic game, there are smaller pieces on the board, wild cards, with their own chaotic plans. And trust me, not everyone is playing by the rules.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the big factions, the players. They're trying to control the whole board by capturing the king. But on the other side, you've got the schemers. Their goal isn't to win the game, it's to shatter the board itself and climb that ladder of chaos that comes after. And the best example of these schemers? Meet Black and White Wu Shang. They're just a couple of low-level grunts in Xuan Ming Jiao, and their bosses, the 5 great Yunjins, absolutely despise them. But secretly, they are ambitious and completely ruthless. They look at all this chaos not as a problem, but as the opportunity of a lifetime.
So how do a couple of nobodies make a big move? Well, let's break down their incredibly smart and incredibly vicious plan to get rid of their own bosses and frame their enemy for the whole thing.
Their plan is just a 4-step masterpiece of manipulation. First, the rumor. They tell a calculated lie claiming their rival has the body of a fallen comrade. That's the bait. Second, the confrontation. The lie works, and their enraged bosses charge right into a fight. Third, and here's the kicker, the betrayal. In the middle of the battle, they assassinate their own commanders. And finally, the frame-up. They go back and report that their rivals were responsible for everything. It's a brilliant and totally brutal way to climb the corporate ladder.
5. Just let that sink in. That's how many of their own commanders they took out in one go. The so-called Great Yanjuns, just gone. All so they could seize power within their own group. That is a shocking level of ruthless ambition.
All of this chaos forces the big players to finally show their hands.
With their rivals in disarray, they make one last big offer to the prince, which brings us to the climax of the story.
So, the Holy Lord of Tong Wen Guan and Qi Wang of Magic Square set up a face-to-face meeting with Li Xing Yun, and they lay it all out on the table. Armies, their total allegiance, basically everything he would need to reclaim his title and become the emperor.
But as you can see here, their offer isn't exactly straightforward. It's really a 50-50 deal. Sure, half of it is about restoring the Tang Empire, but the other half? That's about them getting their hands on the legendary Longquan sword that he carries, a weapon with its own incredible secrets and power. They don't just want the king, they want his most powerful weapon too.
But Li Xing Yun, he sees right through it. He throws their hypocrisy right back in their faces, asking them, 16 years ago, the usurper killed in the royal palace, why weren't you seen coming to the rescue? Now you two hypocritically come looking for the door. Oof. He knows they were nowhere around when his family was being killed, and there's no way he's going to trust them now. And in this amazing moment, Li Xing Yun refuses them all. He turns down the armies, the power, the throne, everything. He makes it crystal clear that he is not going to be a pawn in their selfish game.
But here's the thing. Even with his refusal, the game is far from over. The Holy Lord of Tong Wen Guan says it best. Li Xing Yun is in this game of chess, but he's a key piece in the game. He might have said no to their moves, but his very existence keeps him on the board, whether he likes it or not.
And that really brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? After turning down all the powerful people and watching betrayal happen at every turn, when you're the most important piece in the whole game, who in the world can you possibly trust to make the next move?